This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN.Network, and we are a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek, which is being held virtually this year. And joining me right now is Eira Thomas. She is the president and CEO of Lucara Diamond Corp. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is LUC on the TSX. Eira, thank you for joining me again. How you doing?
I am terrific. Thank you for having me this morning, Robert.
That's always a pleasure. So let's start off with a very quick overview and history of the company, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. Well, Lucara has been around for more than a decade now. We've been in production on our flagship asset, which is the Karowe Diamond Mine located in Botswana since 2012. And this mine has become renowned for its production of very large, high-value diamonds, including a number of historic diamonds like the Lesedi Lorona, which weighed 1,109 carats, and also a more recent discovery in 2020, or 2019 rather, which was the Sewelô, which weighed in at more than 1,700 carats. And you know, it's been an interesting year for Lucara in many ways.
Well, that's a great set. You're better at segues than I am. So that's a perfect segue into my next question, because we last spoke actually at Precious Metal Summit in 2018. So rather than doing a 2-year, let's get a 12-month corporate highlights. You know, what are some of those for the company?
Sure. Well, listen, it has been a challenging time for the diamond industry. We started to see diamond prices recovering from quite significant lows in 2017. At the end of 2019 and going into 2020, we were actually feeling very optimistic about the diamond market, and then COVID hit. So diamonds, like all other luxury products, were definitely impacted by COVID. But as my chairman, Lucas Lundin, likes to say, never let a good crisis go to waste. And so we've really been hunkering down and focusing on the things within our control. Fortunately for us, Botswana declared diamond mining as an essential service, and we've continued to operate our mine more or less according to plan since the beginning of the year, and that's obviously been very positive. What has been more challenging is selling our diamonds, and so we did make a deliberate decision not to sell any of our large, high-value diamonds after about March 20th. But what I'm really pleased and excited to report on is the fact that we've now entered into an exclusive supply agreement with a manufacturing group out of Antwerp that really gives us guaranteed superior prices for our large diamonds. And now all of that large diamond inventory will flow through with them for the end and until the end of the year. So we're feeling really good about that, which is going to give us guaranteed steady cash flow now for the remainder of the year. And as we head into fall, we're seeing demand really start to pick up again. So it's been led by demand out of Asia, but we're also seeing the U.S. market starting to recover, and we're feeling very hopeful and optimistic that sales will pick up in the sort of September time period as brands start purchasing diamonds for the upcoming holiday season. So started out challenging, but we think we're heading into a much more optimistic and better pricing environment here as we head in towards the latter part of the year.
Yeah, I mean, that to quickly follow up on that, because I can imagine that with COVID impact, you're seeing weddings getting canceled across the board, or at least much smaller scale. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean people are going to stop getting engaged, of course, but that's not the only jewelry for diamonds. But I mean, what's been the main thing that you've been hearing from downstream distributors that are like, hey, all right, Eira, we get it. We love you. We're going to need you. Here's a couple things that we're waiting for until we start bringing things more back online. What have you been hearing?
I think what we've really learned through this period is that, obviously luxury spending is way down. People can't go on vacation. They have fewer things to spend their money on. But they are spending their money. And of course, when you're going through, very challenging times like COVID, what do people do? They band together. They spend more time with their families. They spend more time with their loved ones. And so in some ways, the purchase of a diamond becomes more significant. And people don't stop buying birthday presents or Christmas gifts or anniversary presents. So what we're finding now, as the world is sort of settling into the new normal, actually there has been a lot of interest in diamond jewelry again, and it's definitely starting to recover. The other interesting thing that sort of emerged here in the last, I would say, 2 to 3 months, is because of the big run that gold has been on, is that we're also seeing some investors now looking for other hard assets to invest in. And so for the first time in a very long time, we've had inbound requests and interest from the investment community, from people that want to purchase rough diamonds for investment purposes solely, not for jewelry. So that's also been helpful and giving us reason for optimism.
So from what you can tell us, what would you say are the 1 to 2 things that investors then should look for from the company for the rest of this year going into 2021?
Yeah, listen, there's 2 things. Our fundamental business is strong and stable. We went into this crisis with a strong balance sheet. We expect to emerge with a strong balance sheet. We will be moving forward with our underground expansion, and that's something that we're very focused on. That's going to extend our mine life out to 2040, and it's a potentially $4 billion revenue opportunity for Lucara. So that's probably one of the most important growth avenues for the company. But the other thing I want to mention, which is really critical and has done incredibly well through COVID, is our new digital web-based supply sales system, basically, Clara. And I think we talked a lot about that in 2018. We were just starting to ramp up on Clara to commercialize it, but this is the first digital marketplace for rough diamonds of its kind. It's the first marketplace where individuals can buy rough diamonds sitting at their desks wherever they are around the world. And it completely eliminates the need to get on a plane. And for the first time ever, our buyers are able to buy diamonds individually based on their own specific needs and requirements. So what we've seen is a huge increase in interest in Clara through the COVID period. We've ramped up from around 22 customers at the beginning of COVID to over 50 today. And the key thing for us now is to add additional supply onto the platform. So we are talking with other producers, and we expect Clara to get to kind of the next level in its evolution here before the end of the year as well. So those would be the things that I'd leave you with. Thank you very much.
Very good. Well, where can our audience go and find more information and to follow all the news from Lucara Diamond?
Absolutely. Please head to our website at www.lucaradiamond.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Please stay safe. Good luck. And I look forward to our next update.
Thank you very much, Robert, and to you as well.
Thank you. Again, my name is Robert Kraft. I'm your host on SNN.Network, and we're a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek, being held virtually this year. With me again has been Eira Thomas from Lucara Diamond. Eira, thank you again.